I'm going to put my little dust cover here for the torque converter. The dust shield stays on between the little tabs like that, because you don't want it hitting up against the torque converter flex plate. Goes in there like that, and then put your little 10mm in there, and you're good to go. This 10mm bolt. Bam. That's where I hooked up my chain to. Put that on the back. And the bolts I put in the back were these from the other engine, the engine that was originally in this car. The same thread and everything. How many miles would you say were on this engine? Reply in the comments. Sure, 30. Inside again. Valves don't look bad, but definitely got some carbon buildup. This bolt over here is kind of hard to install. It's right next to it's the one that holds the dipstick tube. Goes right in there. You see the little bracket that holds the transmission dipstick. All you gotta do is push the dipstick that way, hold it that way, and then you slide your bolt in, and then when you let the dipstick go, it should be on this part right here, this back threaded part. That's a little bit smaller because the dipstick bracket will not fit over the big part right here, so it'll be right here. And that's how you do it. You gotta move it to the side that way, and then you slide it in, and then you kind of pull it back over this. Y'all can see the dipstick will not go over this part, it's too fat. I gotta screw it in some more. Gotta lay on the car. Just installed it. There's the dipstick tube. I'm gonna press it downward while I tighten the nut that holds it down. The actual bolt is 14 millimeter, like the rest of these other ones, and the nut is a 13. So I'm just gonna have to hold it down, get my ratchet down there, tighten it up. All the way down there. Snake it in there. Really awkward spot. I might need the short 13. That'll work better. The deep socket won't work, looks like. I'm getting ready to install the alternator. This is where that one bracket goes. I'll show you. That's the engine mount, and then here's the little bracket part that goes there. It's like a support bar. I'm gonna put my 13 millimeter nut on there. I'll see how crusty that is. I'll rust it up. I think most shops are gonna take their time and clean every little thing like that up. I don't know. This is why I don't like messing around with stuff that's been taken apart. I have no idea if it goes this way or that way or this way. So this way, this way, this way, or this way. There's 4 possibilities. It has to go this way because this big bolt will only fit on this side. This other side is too small, so it'll go like that. Now we gotta figure out if it goes this way or the other way. You have to put all the bolts in with the little brace here before you drop it in, because if not, you can't get them in because the bolts hit up against the body. That frame rail right there. I got this top one threaded in a little bit, then I threaded the bottom one on this side towards the front of the engine. I threaded that one in. I'm going to loosen this one back up. It was a little bit of a pain to get it in there. Now, as you can see, you just have one bolt threaded in there, which is the bottom one towards the front. And I loosened the top bolt that goes in here and just rocked it forward. Now it's just laying there. Now I have easy access for my wires back here. It's kind of dirty. I'm going to clean that up before I install it. Oh yeah. Y'all see it? Nice and clean, shiny. Now I'm going to install it. As you can see, those little things, little tabs go in there, one on each side. And let me show you guys over here too, the little support bracket, whatever it's called, goes right there to your engine mount. Zoom out a little bit. See a little bit. See that? Got my 13mm. This is getting pinched in there for some reason. I'm gonna figure out how this goes. I'm under the vehicle, getting the 2 bolts on here. It's a lot easier from the bottom than the top. I'm going to be reinstalling these. These are like, this goes to ground. So there's bolts back there, and then the plug goes in there, of course. I went out to the store and I bought some nuts that'll fit it and washers. So this is the size you need. If you guys happen to not have them or lose them or whatever, that's the size you need. Of course, 6mm, one. Of course, the same washers. Hemi 5.7. Pretty good. Oh, it's definitely not it. That one didn't click. Trying to figure out where this goes to. Might be throttle body. That's fine. Just I got one didn't click over here on this side. Maybe it's broken. Look, messed up. So pull it upward a little bit. Take stuff down here. I think. Force it up. Just figured out where that went right there. This is that part that's in there, and the person that had this car had already started removing it themselves, or had someone removing stuff out of here. So this goes on there, this plug goes on there, sensor. Trying to figure out where this goes now. And these probably the fans. It's got to be like the fan, at least one or two of these. These gaskets are shot completely flat, can't feel them at all. They're flush with the intake, and that's probably why there's all this grease, this oil on the outside, because those gaskets weren't sealing right anymore. Look at that. Yeah, there shouldn't be anything on the outside. There should be a good seal all around. Nothing should be leaking outward. If it's dirty on the sides, you got a leak. You need new gaskets, or your intake's cracked. There's a lot of fuel still in the fuel rail on that intake. It's crazy. It was just pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring, like 5 minutes straight. This is the intake out of the engine that I just put in the car. It's supposed to be good. Here, flip it this way a little. Look at all that oil coming out of there. That don't look good. I don't think there's supposed to be oil in the intake runner. That's not good.